Thank you for giving attention to the Holocaust remembrance dedication of Lakeside Presbyterian Church. The Holocaust, something that truly we must never forget. At the conclusion, we will present the Kaddish, which is offered at the death of Jewish people, and especially this particular Kaddish fashioned to be presented on such an occasion as this. I would like to thank all of those church members who have participated in this presentation, and most of all to Chaplain Jan Korte, who ministered to Jewish patients, and a colleague of mine who helped as an advisor in the production of this presentation. This is a commemoration offered by Lakeside Presbyterian Church, remembering with all of those so moved in both Holocaust and Heroism Remembrance Day and International Holocaust Remembrance Day commemoration. This is a time of solemn remembrance, as the Holocaust was the systematic murder by Nazis and their allies of more than 6 million European Jews and about 5 million non-Jews, the others including Roma, Jehovah's Witness, gay men political leaders, Christian pastors and priests, intellectuals, and any considered undesirable or a dissident.
We are beginning with the second shofar sound, the Shevarim, 3 medium-length blasts. The Shevarim represents the times of trouble, the wails that emanate from the human heart when failure, tragedy, and seemingly insurmountable problems befall us. Shever means fracture, something that is cracked and broken. It is in the darkness of the Shevarim that we find the glimpse of hope and see the light that diffuses in. We come in our remembering to full understanding of that which calls for change. Each of us can build upon those very sounds of wailing to construct a better future for all of us.
It is our privilege and honor to introduce Jan Court, cantorial soloist, and a chaplain, former chaplain with me, and we serve together. She's now going to express the Hebrew section that we will now experience. I want to thank her very much for doing this with us.
Thank you.
We will now have a reading of Psalm 22 in Hebrew and in English.
Lamanetzeach al Ayelet HaShachar, Mizmor LeDavid.
For the leader, upon Aleta Shakar, a psalm of David.
Eli, Eli, lama azavtani, rechok mishuati divrei agati.
My God, why hast thou forsaken me, and art far from my help at the words of my cry?
Elohai yakara yomam v'layla ta'aneh, v'layla v'lo dumiyali.
O my God, I call by day, but thou answerest not, and at night, and there is no respite for me.
V'ata kadosh, yoshev tehilot Yisrael.
Yet thou art holy, O thou that art enthroned upon the praises of Israel.
Yizkaru v'yeshuvu el Adonai, kol avsei aretz, v'yishtachavu lefanecha, kol mishpachot goyim.
All the ends of the earth shall remember and turn unto the Lord, and all the kindreds of the nations shall worship before thee.
Ki l'Adonai hamalucha, umoshel bagoyim.
For the kingdom is the Lord's, and he is the ruler over the nations.
Ochlu v'yishtachavu kol dishnei eretz, lefanav yichra'u kol yordei afar, v'nafsho lo chia.
All the fat ones of the earth shall eat and worship. All they that go down to the dust shall kneel before him, even he that cannot keep his own soul alive.
Zera Ya'avdenu, Yisupar Ladonai Lador.
A seed shall serve him. It shall be told of the Lord unto the next generation.
Yava'u V'yagidu Tzidkato, La'am Nolad Ki Asa.
They that shall come and shall declare his righteousness unto a people, that shall be born, that he hath done it. Amen.
The Lost Generation, Children in the Holocaust. No part of all the bloody work is so shocking and terrible as that of the 1 million Jewish children whose blood was spilt like water throughout Europe. How they were separated by force from their mothers who tried to hide them, murdered and thrown out of trucks in the camps, torn to pieces before their mothers' eyes, their little heads smashed on the ground. These are the most terrible passages of the tale of slaughter. You will hear evidence of actions which the mind of man does not want to believe. You will hear about little ones thrown out of hospital windows when they failed to respond to orders to report for parade. We shall present to you the instructions issued by Eichmann and his office about the transport of children. One of these said that the children were to be divided among the transports intended for Auschwitz. Children of 14 were considered independent for purposes of transport to the extermination camps. Nor can we say who suffered the more terrible fate, those who died or those who concealed themselves in every hiding place and crevice, who lived in perpetual terror of expulsion, who survived by grace of Christian neighbors who agreed to hide them. Children would come home from the schools and centers organized by the community to find their parents' home empty, for they had been sent by some action or operation to their deaths, and the apartment was already occupied by others. You will hear evidence of tender infants pressed by their mothers to their bodies in the gas chambers, so that they were not immediately poisoned, until the executioners came and threw them alive into the furnaces or the ready graves. Those unhappy children who lived for years in fear of the beating of a rifle butt on their door, who had been sent by their parents into the woods in an attempt to save them, who had been taught to choke their tears and sighs because a weeping child would be shot on the spot, who had been ordered to deny their origins and pretend to be Christians, who saw their fathers being lashed with whips before their eyes, in front of whom discussions would be carried on by the German executioners as to who should be killed first, the father or the son, who went to the open grave with "Hear, O Israel" on their lips. These children and youths, who despite all the desperate measures and concealments would finally fall into the hands of their hunters. They are the soul of this indictment. Those Anne Franks and Justine Drangers and a million others, those unplumbed treasures of radiant youth and hope for life and achievement. They were the future of the Jewish people. He that destroyed them was seeking to destroy the Jewish people. This is a reading from The Lost Generation, Children of the Holocaust.
A selection from Night by Elie Wiesel. Never shall I forget that night, the first night in camp that turned my life into one long night 7 times sealed. Never shall I forget that smoke. Never shall I forget the small faces of the children whose bodies I saw transformed into smoke under a silent sky. Never shall I forget those flames that consumed my faith forever. Never shall I forget the nocturnal silence that deprived me for all eternity of the desire to live. Never shall I forget those moments that murdered my God and my soul and turned my dreams to ashes. Never shall I forget those things, even were I condemned to live as long as God himself. Never.
We now will experience the Kaddish that is especially designated for the remembrance of the Holocaust.
Yikadol,
Auschwitz,
Yikadosh,
Loditz,
Shemei Rabba,
Ponar,
B'yalma divrach Yeruteh,
Babi Yar,
B'yamlich malchuteh,
Majdanek,
B'chayechon u'v'yomechon,
Birkenau,
ובחיי דכל בית ישראל,
Kovno,
בעגלו ובזמן קריב,
Janowska,
ואמרו אמן, יש שמי רבה, מברך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח,
Theresienstadt,
ויתפאר ויתרומם,
Buchenwald,
ויתנשא ויתהדר,
Treblinka,
ויתעלה ויתהלל,
Vilna,
שמי דקודשה בריחו,
Bergen-Belsen,
ואלה
Mauthausen,
מכל ברכתה ושירתה,
Dachau,
תושבחתה ונחמתה,
Minsk,
תאמירן בעלמא,
Warsaw,
ואמרו אמן. יש למה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
May the one who creates peace on high bring peace upon us and to all Israel, and let us say, Amen.
Amen.
And now, we light the yellow candle of remembrance and peace. May you, Israel, and the entire world receive God's gift of shalom. Amen.